Hi, I'm about to give you a channeled message from your spirit guides and your ancestors. They both came through in this message. But first, let me give you just real quick a rundown on how I channeled this message with full transparency. So I sat down yesterday ready to channel with the intention that the message that needed to get through for the highest good of those that this video would reach would come through. To do that, I wrote. So I opened my Word editor on my Mac and started typing as I started getting sensations and information. So today, the message still carries the frequencies and the information you need to hear. I'll just be reading it back to you because at this point in my journey, writing it down is the easiest way for me to receive the information. With that being said, if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Brandy Fleck. I'm a Reiki healer, trauma-informed certified coach, and host of the Human Amplified podcast. There are a lot of resources on the Human Amplified channel to help you be your true self, and from anything from divination to interviews to a lot of other things. So be sure to go check the channel out, browse around and see what else can help you. Also, my kids are being pretty rambunctious tonight, so you might hear them in the background banging around or yelling, and I'm just going to let them play. So that's totally okay. Just know that that could happen. Also, since this is a collective message, take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? If this message is not for you, you'll feel it. You know, it won't feel certain that it is your message, so you'll know. Just click off. It's totally okay. If it does resonate, stick around to the end and leave me a comment or a like, subscribe, and let's go. So I'm going to start reading the message now. It feels like an ancestor message wants to come through. So loved ones, whether friends, family, or family in your lineage that you didn't even have a chance to meet in this life, but who you've known for lifetimes. They're here today to give you a message that you need to hear that's in your highest good. They've told me to draw a card. So I turned around to look at my bookshelf behind me, and the Light Seers Tarot stood out. I was hesitant to grab the deck because I'm currently learning it, but I did anyway since I acknowledged the gentle nudge. I cleared the energy on the deck by knocking it a couple of times, split it, and saw the Four of Cups. Can you see that? There you go. Take a look at that. She's beautiful. Now, this isn't going to be a typical tarot spread. I only drew 2 cards during this message to assist with the information flowing, but the majority of it is a channeled message. So when I look at this card, this tells me the message today is about you feeling blah, feeling lonely, feeling uninspired. And also there's a part of this message that's about grounding your spirituality into your everyday human life, in the practical aspects of life to make them less dull and to help your light shine brighter. So first, let's talk about loneliness. There are people with you, but you have a hard time seeing them. They are helping you in your spiritual journey, even if it doesn't feel like it. It's almost like you're ignoring the guidance and signs that are around you every day. And this is creating an isolation that you're not intending to create, but you're creating it unknowingly. So this message is for you if you feel isolated and if you're feeling kind of alone. So when that happens, the first thing we need to work on is building your awareness, getting back in tune with your body, your surroundings, and balancing some of that life force energy that seems to be dimmed in a couple of places. So right now I'm actually feeling the solar plexus chakra is a little blocked, and this is your power center. This is where your willpower ignites action. Your solar plexus, when connected appropriately to your heart chakra, then has a navigation system to direct your will. And when your solar plexus is appropriately connected to your sacral chakra, which is around your navel or belly button area, The passion continues to fuel the will so it can keep carrying you through that action to where it is you want to go, what you want to do. So if you start moving, when all of these are connected, you end up going and doing things that light you up, bring you joy. You're able to feel more confident, do more things in the world, not feel as insecure, and you're able to actually feel more connected in the world too. And actually, I do a lot of this in Reiki sessions with client. I've had quite a few sessions recently where I feel like I'm igniting their solar plexus chakra, which is like an engine, and then it's hooking up to their heart and sacral areas so that then the whole system can be better balanced. And so I'm going to do a Reiki video for you to help you with that too. Once that's available, you'll see it here, okay? So at some point in the past, and even now in the present moment, there is conditioning coming from the world for you to be smaller, to shrink over into yourself and hide the parts of you that would actually help you feel less lonely, less disconnected. You don't have to be ashamed of these parts, and you don't have to care what others think, even though that does seem hard. The world, the everyday human matters that are infiltrating our thoughts are imbalanced. They're taking up too much space in your life right now, and your ancestors want you to know that you are capable of balancing that back out. What's interesting to me as an energy practitioner is that a lot of times people come into session with that same energy that I'm getting from this Four of Cups card, and they're so in their head, yet at the same time their energy is kind of dull and diminished. So what I do in the Reiki session to balance that out is I'll start at the crown chakra, ensuring there's a strong connection from the divine, that it's not too open or too closed, but just right so that you know you aren't alone. You have support. And your guides are now stepping in to say that you are fully supported in this lifetime. You have a team of angels and guides ready to assist you if you just ask. They want you to talk to them and ask them for guidance or assistance. They want you to also work on trusting your intuition. So we're back to the awareness piece. Observing your physical sensations and naming them when you are going through certain experiences can help you tune in to what your body is trying to tell you. And the better you get at doing that, you'll also start to notice when other sensations pick up that aren't coming from your body. So here, I think that the guides are talking about clairsentience. You have the ability to access all the clairs, but right now your guides are really focused on clairsentience. That means you have the ability to tap into not only what others around you are feeling, but you have the ability to sense the energy of spirits around you. And if you're not paying close attention and differentiating between something coming from your own body and something coming from a guide or an ancestor, then you'll miss the message. You'll miss the connection. And they're trying to connect with you. So it's funny, when I started this reading, I didn't think this was part of the message, but now I know it is. I sat at my desk here before I started typing, and I asked my ancestors to come in and connect with me for a moment so I could feel what their presence is like and take a mental note. It was a deep tingling, mostly in the core of my body. It felt like a lower frequency than an angel or spirit guide. It felt human in a way that it was connected to my core, which reminds me of the core of the earth, very earthly. I even felt it a little bit in my legs. So then I said thank you and disconnected. And at this point, while I was reading this back, my hair is driving me crazy. So I changed it. But anyways, very earthly, very earthly. I then asked my angels to come in so I could compare what they feel like to my human ancestors. I felt quite a bit of a higher, that's the only way I can think to describe it, tingling in my left shoulder, neck, and head. And then when I asked my guides to come in, the tingling spread from my left upper body, shoulder, neck, and head, down through my left arm, left side, and left leg. So this tells me that my guides are a mixture of angels and other higher vibration beings or entities, not sure of the right word there at this point, that are even different from my ancestors. And I feel prompted to say that ancestors can also act as guides throughout your lifetimes. All this to say that you can do this too. Your guides want you to experiment with tapping in during a meditation and focus on feeling the sensations in your body when you connect with different types of divine guidance, and just take note of what each sensation feels like, where it's located in your body, if it has a color, texture, shape. I keep going back to the word sensation because make sure you're not describing emotions when you do this. Like, don't say it feels happy, for example. If you get a warm feeling in your chest, be sure to take note that it feels warm in your chest. That's a temperature. The focus, they keep repeating, is on the physical experience for you at this time. So I just asked them in my head, how does this fit in with balance? I feel like the collective will wonder why focusing on the physical is so important, especially if they're trying to connect to the divine. And they're saying that you are of the world. You are part of the earthly world, and your strength lies in being able to navigate this world with the divine. In order to do that, you must have a foundational knowledge of your vehicle, your body. I just felt a huge tingling in my legs, both legs. So I know your ancestors are saying, when you first learn to drive a car, you must know what each piece of machinery does in order to operate it. You might not know exactly how the inner workings make the car run. How the combustion in the engine works is of no consequence to operating the car. And by the way, the combustion engine is a common metaphor for me for your solar plexus chakra. So then your ancestors have gone on to say, just as how the mechanics of the energy turning in your heart and solar plexus are of no consequence to knowing how to drive. All you need to know is that you must put gas in the car for it to go. Once there's gas in the car, you can push the gas pedal to accelerate and move, or you can hit the brake to stop when necessary. You must know that you use the steering wheel to turn and change direction or to stay on the proper road or path. And you must learn which switch to flick when you're communicating to others you're about to turn. The turn signal, of course, or how to flick the windshield wipers on to keep moving even when the world obscures your view. You might not be able to get the full view back with windshield wipers when it's raining, but you can see just enough to keep going in the direction you're meant to be going. And you must learn when and how to defrost your windows so you can see through the fog. You learn all of this before you actually start driving, because if you got in the car without knowing what anything did, it would be a disaster. It would be more treacherous. This is a metaphor for building your psychic awareness and intuition. There is a more reckless way to go about doing it, but there is also a more structured and methodical way of going about it. And you can choose, but the way we've just described is our preferred way based on the wisdom we seek to give you today. So learning about your body first is a step in the bigger picture of navigating your life with the help of your soul family, your guides. And once you learn to drive, you can then stop to ask for directions if you need it. You can use your GPS, but you first had to learn how to use your phone and GPS, although that may not have taken very long. Some things are easier than others to learn and put into practice. And when you learn something and then put it into practice through action and even divinely guided action, you know you're not alone. And you're integrating that knowledge into your everyday life. It's becoming part of you, and eventually it becomes automatic. You just know. You have a knowing in your body. You don't even have to think about where the blinker switch is. You just reach for it when it's time. The same applies to spiritual guidance, tapping into your divine support system. You have a divine support system, and you are not alone. And if you crave other human connection that is not just divine, this divine support system can assist with that too. And they want you to know that you do have people in your life who may be trying to connect. Are you open to them? Have you noticed? The noticing starts with you and your own body. You are of nature, part of nature, and even when in nature, ignore it. It's time to change that, they're saying. Your body is an extension of the Earth's body, all of which are an extension of the stars, the cosmos, and that's enough on that. So that was really cool. And now I'm being prompted by one of my own passed on loved ones to tell you a short little story. His name is Jeffrey. He was my best friend growing up, and we met when we were 8. He died in a car crash when he was 27, so 14 years ago now. And you can even see his picture behind me here on the bookshelf if I get out of the way. Oh, there he is, right there. That's Jeffrey. He's with me a lot when I'm driving and has taken it on as part of his mission to protect me while I'm in my car. So that's only tangentially related, I guess, except that it is no coincidence that driving a car was the metaphor your guides and ancestors used today to get a message across to you. It's a synchronicity that's worth mentioning. And ways I know that Jeffrey's with me in the car are because certain songs come on my music app that aren't typically part of the algorithm, but I know he would send me those songs because they had a special significance to us. And I also hear random beeps through the stereo speakers that sound like someone is pushing an old school cell phone button back when they had physical buttons. And that only happens every so often. And then sometimes I see numbers that represent messages from him, like, I love you. He can be with me outside of my car sometimes too, but in the car is primarily where he chooses to make himself known. So all this to say, the signs are there. All you have to do is start looking for them, and you'll know that you aren't alone. And then you'll get more and more guidance to being less and less isolated, okay? So this brings us to, are you feeling crazy when looking for signs of divine guidance or spirit and ancestor presence or communication? And wow, that was a mouthful. So let me put it another way. Basically, how can you know you're not just making stuff up when you're doing this? So in order to get information on that, I asked Spirit, what guidance do you have for collective who feels like they're crazy or just making things up when they're trying to acknowledge signs from loved ones or the spirit realm? I was prompted to pull another card from the Lightseers Tarot deck again, and the Star card came out. Here's the Star card that came out. I love this deck, but it's like, okay. There you go. Hopefully, if you need to look at it a little bit longer, you can pause on it and look at it. It's very beautiful. And so I was kind of blown away at this message for the Star card because it's completely related to what we're asking now. It's about having faith and expecting miracles. And when you have faith and expect miracles, you are rewarded. You get miracles when you expect them. When you have faith, it helps guide you like a guiding North Star. So what I don't want to get into right now is taking a foolish leap of faith, right? Like just blindly acting on something that might have gone better had you taken other steps to plan, or, like acting on faith doesn't mean that you have to be impulsive. It also doesn't mean that you can't think through something and still have faith. So I just want to throw out there that we're not talking about making foolish, impulsive decisions here when we're talking about having faith. However, faith does play a really big role in your internal navigation system. So what's coming up now is the topic of confidence. To build your confidence helps you have faith. Faith in what you're feeling, seeing, experience. When I look at the Star card, she's lassoed a star from the sky with a magical golden string. Here, let me try to show you one more time. So she's lassoed a star from the sky with a magical golden string that's the same color as the star. It can now become attached to her. And this is a beautiful image. However, what's really standing out to me through this is that she's relying on external navigation, external validation, and external guidance. And what your guides want you to know now is that you already have that within you, and it starts at your solar plexus chakra. On this card, it's almost like her confidence is outside of her. Her solar plexus chakra is outside of her, and she's trying to bring it closer to her. And the thing about doing that is when you're relying on external validation to build your confidence, that confidence can so easily be shattered when the external thing you're relying on goes away, changes, or is no longer aligned with you. Okay, so this brings us to, if you're relying on external validation and it becomes misaligned with who you are as a person and no longer belongs in your life, this could keep you hanging on to something that doesn't serve you well past its expiration date in your life. And the cascading effects of that could be actual damage to your self-esteem and confidence, even more than what's already there. So the thing you're trying to do to build your confidence is actually hurting it. It could be damaging. So the one thing that you used to build your confidence, whatever that is in your life outside of you, it changes or you change. And instead of acknowledging that, because you don't know that you actually already have it inside of you, or you didn't in the past at one time, you're hanging on for dear life because you think you still need that thing to have confidence. And eventually you'll end up at rock bottom, just absolutely gutted and down on yourself. And this in turn has a negative impact on your faith, because without confidence, you lose faith in yourself, faith in your ability to make decisions. And in this case, faith means the same thing as trust. The lack of trust you had in yourself that prompted you to look outside of yourself actually got bigger. You reinforced it. And so this message is all about rebuilding trust in yourself. Your guides want you to find an internal source of confidence and guidance and navigation. So I'll tell you about a book that I recently read. It tells you how to connect to your own spirit and your higher self. It's called Ask Your Guides. Oh, shoot, I hit the microphone. Sorry. It's called Ask Your Guides by Sonia Choquette. And so as you connect with your higher self in the exercises in the beginning of this book, you even name that part of you. It's really amazing. So I went through that exercise and I've named my higher self. I'm not going to reveal that here today, but I haven't read the whole book yet. But this book was recommended on one of my favorite YouTube channels to watch, which is Witch and Scythe. So she does so many great tarot readings, y'all. She's amazing. So I had to pick up this book when she recommended it. So now I'm passing this message on to you because it appears it would be for your highest good as a step in rebuilding trust in yourself. So at this point in the message, I'm asking your guides if there's anything else you need to know right now about trusting yourself. And they say, when you do finally start to trust yourself, you realize that the star you've been lassoing in the sky is actually what is within you. It's not outside of you. You imagined it outside of yourself because you couldn't believe that something so powerful and so beautiful could live inside of you. But it can, and it does. And once you acknowledge this, you will know you are not crazy. You will know that you are deserving of magical experiences, and this is what you are experiencing. Magic. Your own magic. So, okay, I'll end it there. I think this was a pretty powerful message, and I think it's safe to take from this that you aren't imagining things, you aren't broken, you can trust your experiences, and you're not alone. And as a trauma-informed coach, I have so much to say about this, separate from an energy worker and channeler, but that's a topic for another day. Until then, leave me a like or comment if this resonated, and I'll see you soon.